Hi everybody, it's Hugh from Berthon. We're out here today on a beautiful subtropical day. We're in Plymouth, as you can probably see by stuff over there, so the home of the British Navy, allegedly. We are on INCONNUE. She is a 2007 build Aquastar 57. Actually, she was commissioned in 2008. She's been in 2 ownerships from new, and she is absolutely gorgeous. We're just out here getting a bit of footage, loads of video stuff, just so you can see the boat and the way that she performs. She's a big, heavy, semi-displacement cruising yacht. I've sold these down in the Mediterranean, up here. A lot of them have made the trip down to the Mediterranean underneath their own bottom really successfully, and then down to Greece. It's an amazing thing. It can take you wherever you want to go. We're out on a relatively snotty day out here. It's flat, but it's breezy. And she just goes round with this big keel, full length keel, absolutely flat. So you whack over the helm, 2 big rudders on it and big sets of props, and she does exactly what it says on the tin. So we're running on a pair of 865 cats. They're the C15s. They run only about 670 hours, something like that. But we're going to do a full walk around tour of her now. Got loads of photography. Trust me, she is an absolutely beautiful boat. So we're at the lower helm here. Her skipper and owner is up on the top deck, which you can access through the internal stair. We're running here. It's really leisurely, flat sea out here off Plymouth Sound. At the moment, we've got probably about 3 blowing, and we've got literally like nada sea state. The boat is semi-displacement, so she will nod very gently into the waves. Most semi-displacement boats really don't like running in a cross sea, so a beam sea, which is exactly what we've got at the moment. This boat deals with it in 2 ways. It has a full length keel and plenty of displacement, so it's heavy in the water. But she's also got a pair of track stabilizers. So these are fin stabilizers with a gyro control. They're hydraulic operated from down in the engine bay down there, and there are some pictures of it in the rest of the commentary. But we're running at 1250 revs. That's giving us 9.8 knots speed over ground at the moment. We don't get much tide in here, so that's fairly sort of true speed. She's incredibly quiet underway. I'm just seeing if there's any vibration anywhere, and there's nothing. So you could sit here on a long passage doing 10 knots, and you could be making lunch and cruising along. You can cruise as well at kind of 16 knots. Currents at a cruising speed, really easy long range. If you want to go double the speed of this, we can. So really top out real world is probably about 21 odd knots on her. She's got a pair of 865s, but we don't want to stress them, and this is a really comfortable speed. So some other boats that are your long distance, long range cruisers will do 10.5 knots, and that's it. So lots of the heavier boats. Great thing about this is she will cope with these conditions absolutely fine. If you want to whack open the hammers and burn around at 18 knots, she's going to do it brilliantly. What she actually does is she sticks her bum down, wheelies a little bit, brings that big forefoot up. But because she's got a big keel down in the middle, she's still a really great sea boat, but she's just sitting a bit bum down, which isn't quite as efficient. So this sort of speed is great. If we look at a, shall we say, a planing hull that's coming at us, in fact, we're going to do this from the outside. I'll just show you the difference in ride quality. So as you look out the back of this boat, we've actually got relatively little wash coming off her. So the forefoot is doing its work. It's pushing water from about 5 stanchions back down here. Nothing's vibrating, there's nothing angry, and we've got very little wake coming out the back. So this is a really comfortable cruising speed. I can walk right the way around the boat. which I could do now, but I'm not going to show you the difference, right? We're burning tens of litres an hour of diesel at the moment. This is a Princess planing boat. If you look at the amount of energy going into producing that wake, you can see how different a boat that is to drive. So it's throwing up loads and loads of spray at the forward end. You need lots of power to get it going, and therefore it creates a huge amount of wash at the back end, which is costing you in terms of fuel burn. So that's great at its job, because it can rip around at anything up to, on that boat, around about 32, 34 knots. This one, because it's a really round hull, because it's semi-displacement and is built like an absolute tank, will take weather that will keep that thing and anything like it in port, because it's so uncomfortable to be at sea in. So we're just going to walk around the decks now, and I'll just show you how comfortable this boat is. So here we are, yep, 9.5, 10 knots. Air going in here to cool your engines. Walking up around the front here, so we've got the main breakwater. Got the cliffs there, lights are on because it's a bit minging. It's too wet to put the drone up, so we can't do that. I'm really sorry about that. But here we are. It's a really, really great hull. I've been out in these boats in like 3-metre seas, blowing like 7s and 8s, and it's just bolted on. It's not difficult, it's not tough, it just gets on with it, and that gives you an enormous operating window that a planing boat just can't do, because it sits on its tail like that one over there, creates a huge amount of white water behind it, gets you there, but you've lost all your back teeth. So horses for courses. Anyway, let's have a wander back and then we'll go up onto the Flybridge. So it's not quite sunbathing weather, but you've got all that down there. We don't need the wipers because we're driving from up top. We've got that side access door if we need it for getting in there. Fans again, bunging air in and out through here. And we'll pop up to the top deck. So lots of nice grab handles as you come up there. We've got the inner stair down from up there, and yeah, it's a typical snotty Plymouth day, absolutely corking, but what a great place to be. Someone might have been sensible and put his wet weather gear on, but this is it. So here we are, we've got 9.3 knots on, running at what, about 1250 revs, something like that, RPM wise. So minuscule fuel burn compared to the bloke over there who's in a much smaller boat. So it gives you an enormous operating envelope, as we've talked about, and she is just a great place to be. This is INCONNUE. She is an Aquastar 57. She is the first of the breed, of the sisterhood. I think there are 4 of these. I've sold 2, and this one is absolutely mega. Not only has she got this gorgeous deep blue lustrous hull, but kit wise and ownership wise, this one is exceptional. So she was originally commissioned 2007, 8. She was built 2007, actually commissioned 2008 for her first owners, who are extremely experienced yachts people, who I've had the pleasure of dealing with since. She is called INCONNUE. She's got SYC there, so Morecambe boat, belongs to Morecambe Yacht Club. Fantastic place, go there. As you can see, she is 57 foot of pure semi-displacement fun. So she was built in St Sampson's on the Channel Island of Guernsey by Jeff Wilson and the boys and girls at Aquastar. As you can see there, she says 707. So she was built in 2007 to a 2007 model year, but she was actually commissioned in 2008. So we have a 3-cabin boat inside. And I think we should probably get on board now. This is going to go either well or not. It's gone quite well. Harry's on board. Okay. So we're going to walk forward here. First thing to note, we've got a big aft cockpit here with the most phenomenal hardwood doors. They are just beautiful, fully varnished. What you'll also note here is we've got nearly new teak decks. So these might look nearly new, which is because they're nearly new. So we laid these decks at Berthon in sustainable teak last year. So that's going to be 2024. Looking around, you can just see that she is built somewhat differently to any of the other ones of these boats. So you've got solid timber gangway doors here, so that goes through into the aft lazarette. We've got a full beam aft lazarette with plenty of kit in it. All your battery charging is there, independent bilge pumps, you've got tanks. We've then got access through this door, which we'll do in a moment. But just from a handling point of view, these boats are just superbly set up. So we've got plenty of storage here. If you just whiz around, Harry, sorry, doing this completely A about F. We have powered winches here, port and starboard. We've got rope bins in here and diesel tanks, all that sort of stuff. So you've got fillers back there, 2 gates, one either side. Then you've got a really nice aft bathing platform with a big davit crane on it for easy recovery and launch of a tender. The other great thing, as you can see, it's we've got liquid sunshine here today, which is helping things because it's made everything nice and wet, which makes the teak look even better than normal. But you've got a phenomenally clever use of the Flybridge aft overhang to completely cover this aft cockpit area. So you can sit here out of the rain, even if it's tipping it down. There's also a full set of covers that enclose the whole lot. So really easy to do that. And literally, you've got a great inside-outside option with this boat, just straight in through there. So we'll go for a quick run around the bridge deck here. As you'll note, very, very high rails right the way around. This is where the curtain screen comes down here if you want to enclose the lot, and you've got an overhead docking camera there. Stainless steel window frames, fully bonded, no rubbish. Got one, side boarding gate, side boarding gate here, so you can get straight over there, and little deck lights to light the way. 1, 2, 3, and you're up here. We've got a pantographing door that gives us access directly behind the main helm position inside. As you can see here, it's also got a rain gutter over the top. This tells you what you bought as well and what your boat's called. Again, bulwark right the way through, captain teak, forward sun pad, essential for days like today, and an enormous forward working area. So we've got lockers here, we've got a big Maxwell windlass in the middle, which is hydraulic on this boat, so a lot of hydraulics going on. We've got thumping great stabilizers on her, incredibly good at rest, so when you're at anchor as well as underway. She's got hydraulic bow and stern thrusters by American Bow Thruster, so all that stuff is going on, but she's just really easy to work. And I've used these boats as a couple, really easy to handle. The deck gear is huge, substantial, and really easy to use. So you've got a secondary roller at the front if you need it. You've got your main anchor on this central roller, locating onto that big Maxwell windlass with a chain brake just there. Moving off, we've got a set of fair leads shot through these bulwarks. Then we've got handling cleat here with stainless steel protection on the outside, and these thumping great bars right the way around. 2 screens, port starboard, have covers that go around them. You've got big wipers here. You've got unbelievably good visibility from inside. You've got 3 big windows either side, and then you've got these 2 screens, and then you've got a Flybridge up here. So we'll have a look at that in 1 second. There's no door here because we've got a galley inside here. So there's a really nice U-shaped galley. This window here drops, this one is fixed. So this one gives you ventilation, this one keeps you dry. Nav lights, name of boat, ventilator. Down 1, 2, 3, we've got engine bay air intakes underneath here. So we've got big 865 Cat C15s, which have run unbelievably about 670 hours from new. And we're going to pop inside. So this panel here, this 4-piece, does fold right the way back to here. So you can have the whole lot completely open. But for the purpose of today, we're just going to open the central one. And Harry's going to do this clever spinny round thing now, so it looks like I've walked through the door, which I have. We have an ice maker here and this fab aft saloon area. So in the summer, nice day, you can have this bulkhead entirely open. Entirely open. I'll say that again. Entirely open. So the only thing you've got between you and the outside is that, which is a nice big bit of varnished teak. Really nice table here. AV system is underneath here with a Ryzen full TV, which I'll just demonstrate there. The boat is equipped with air conditioning, which is here. She's also got, from memory, it's Webasto. Don't kill me if it isn't. We've got a spectral water maker on her. She's got computer tanks. So they will tell you how much fuel you've put in, how much fuel you can put in to your different tanks to get to full capacity. And at the moment, this tells me that we're running with 86% fuel, 97 in the main central tank. Then we've got aft tank port, aft tank starboard. So she's got phenomenal range. The boat's really happy to run at anything from 8 knots. Actually, she'll tick over at less than that with a trolling valve on her. More of that in a minute. But she'll pick up her skirts and get, I think I got about 26, 27 out of these with the same engines. So your TV's there. It's a smart TV by Avtex. Really neat. Over on the starboard side, as we move forward, we have this internal stair. So you can go straight from the helm, straight upstairs. You can also go straight from that starboard side deck, round here and up the stairs. You can even turn your lights on and off as you go. So we've got alarm panel, switching here, switching, master volt system for looking at battery capacity, more switching there. We've got battery charge state up here. We've got generator starts down there. Loads of storage underneath here. And as you'll see, it's a beautiful big open area. So U-shaped galley, dishwasher, Brown trash compactor, 4-burner, one of those electric hobs by Whirlpool, big oven underneath there. It's all electric, so we've got a pair of big generators. We've got a 9 kVA and a 15 kVA with sensible running hours and maintenance records on either. And then just underneath this nice Corian worktop, we've got an isotherm fridge, loads of storage in these, all the way around here, very good lighting, and there's a bookcase here. So we have a dinette set forward to port, useful storage drawer here, massive storage drawer for pans underneath here. So it is vast, and the boat is built like a tank. And as you can see, she's still in her original colour scheme of tartan here with blue Alcantara, and it's lasted incredibly well. Twin helm seat, really useful big locker for manuals. And looking here, we've got EC300 twin disc throttles here. You can select troll, you can select all sorts of fun gizmos with that. Hydraulic bow thruster and stern thruster. More switching. She is category A rated. Says it down here for, I think it's for 15. I can't actually see because my eyes don't work, but it certainly says category A down there. We've got recent upgrades. So you've got Raymarine hybrid touch plotters, port starboard, main engine controls are in there. Engines have run 672 recorded hours. So just kind of getting worked in on a boat of this kind of caliber. We've got track stabilizers here with the control setup, an updated speed depth. She's got halyard exhaust, high pressure alarms and all that sort of stuff. It's a really, really super competent boat with the misters here so you can keep these screens clear. So that's kind of your main helm. Really nice place to be, and you don't feel at all isolated from anywhere. It's complete sort of wrap round layout, this one, which is quite different to a lot of these boats because they were relatively custom, so you could do different things with them. But this is kind of a brilliant solution to the space that we've got. So down into the forward accommodation, got a big stout grab rail. And we will start at the front. There we go. We're going to be clever, kind of. We'll try and be clever here. So if we start at the forward end, we have a large centerline double. It's raised about 1.5 foot off the deck. We've got a large drawer underneath here. There's a hanging locker over to port. There's a little cubby thing in there as well. You've got air conditioning vents. You've got a load of wraparound cupboards at eye level. The whole lot's trimmed out in cream, what do you call this? Luxury vinyl, that's what we call it. Overhead ladder comes down from there if you need to use that as an escape hatch, which you're hoping that you don't. But she's just beautiful. So this is all matched American cherry. It is in unbelievably good nick. It's satin gloss varnish with gold door furniture. So as I walk through here, which is very clever because you can put a piece of wood in here like that. And that makes that into a private kind of apartamento. We've got an electric loo, we've got holding tank controls, really nice inset sink using the same corian as we got up in the galley. Sorry, Gary, but that's the galley, Gary. Then we've got opening port light here, blinds, ventilators, that's your heating, so you can use this as a drying room. And then you've got a really nice shower here with side jets, full walk-in with a glass screen and all of that kind of jazz. So that all works in there. I'll get out of your way so you can see that. So in essence, we've got a 57-foot boat with huge amount of headroom. So I'm short, but that's got to be 6'8", 6'9" up there. So we've got plenty of light and air and room here. We can go down that way to the master cabin and suite. We can go up that way to the dinette and the helm. Over here on the port side, you've got an up and under bunk. So the top one is a Pullman, which pulls out on a little rack just there to make it slightly larger. We've got a mirror behind the door, and there is a washing machine underneath there as well. So all super clever, and it's a spinny, dryery type of job as well. Opening port lights, again, loads of storage, really, really sensible use of space. You've got 3 cabins. A lot of people cruise with friends. They'll use that as the guest accommodation. They'll use that as a storeroom, which it's great for because you've got big storage lockers underneath the bed. And then you've got this master stroke of an owner's cabin down here. So again, Aquastar, you know, their commercial build heritage and all the rest of it. They built the hospital boats for the Channel Islands, all that kind of stuff. So it's built like an absolute tank, which is why it's got Cat A rating. But just down in here, you've got a rather nice little room. So the main double berth is offset and canted slightly this way. We've got an opening main big ellipse there. The other 2 are fixed. Behind you, these are, one is fixed and one is opening. And then we've got a heads and shower compartment here with another opening one of those ellipses. Again, matched cherry here. It's just really cool. It's all bookmarked. So using the same piece of timber. And we've got a dressing table there with a little stool. And you've got all of this storage. So drawers, cupboards, lights, overhead lights, air conditioning. I'm just going to shut this door here. Bookmarked door. So it all faces in. All of the cupboards in here are lined with cedar. So as you open them, you get a really nice fresh smell. So your clothes don't go mothy. And again, more storage drawers in there. And there's another big storage cupboard with a hanging rail in there. So she is a great long-term boat. And for a lot of people, you can live on this for months at a time. Head is in there. I'm not going to get in your way. If you have a look, there's a shower. Then you've got an opening port light round to your right, which is a wee bit aft. The whole lot is totally en suite, so it's completely private. The head is just around there. But we all know kind of what a marine loo looks like. You've got your own stereo and all that. I don't think there's a TV in here, which is really nice. So you have to read books and that, which are good for your mental health and make you learn things. So what should we do now? Shall we go up, up, up? Right, we're going up, up, up. And I think we'll go for a little walk in this delightful weather. So as you can see, the boat is really easy to walk through. And we'll walk out through this lovely door here and we'll head up to our Flybridge deck. So it's nearly stopped raining and we'll head up here. So we've got big teak laid treads. So all of these were redone again at Berthon in 2024. Using the best materials but the most sustainable materials available at the time, and you have a wonderful Flybridge deck. So it's kind of compartmentalized. You've got your forward area with a sun pad, you've got a the central indoor passageway going down there, and again upgraded hybrid touch plotter, bow thrusters, chain controls, all of that stuff, wind indicator, solar panel for trickle charging. Amazing. And these boats are fab in the UK, they're fab down in the Med. You can put an enormous bimini that goes right the way over the lot, and thumping along at 20 odd knots, she just absolutely whacks it out the side. Big heavy boat, good and strong, brilliant to walk around. So if you need to get over here quick, it's really easy. If you're docking port side too, you've got cameras there, you can see that. This folds down into a sun lounger. So again, you've got more options here. My phone's ringing. Aft here, big horseshoe seating area. There's storage behind it as well if you want to tuck a paddle board or whatever, that can go in there. You've got your life raft in a cradle over here, lighting all the way underneath here, big open array cyclone radar, and then just here, as if you needed a bit more to keep you up here and keep the crew interested. You've got hot and cold sink, CDA grill, and what looks to me like an ice maker, but let me just check. It is an ice maker, so that's up there. So we've got everything that we need in here, and there's a little bit of storage in there as well. So that's kind of the Flybridge deck on this Aquastar 57. We're going to pop downstairs, take our shoes off and go look at the engine room. I'm casually walking up from the bathing platform on the Aquastar 57 INCONNUE, which is a 2007 boat, as you'll remember. This is just to show you how open and fab this space is. So Harry's there, don't go too far backwards, even though it's a really nice long saloon, because you'll get into the galley, but this bulkhead opens right the way up. So we've got a little threshold on the floor. That is it. Otherwise, it is completely open. So if you're out here on a sunny evening, it's fantastic. You can have a couple of chairs, which we have here, cunningly arranged. Big table here, friends around there. You've got a brilliant socialising space. The boat's nice and flat because she's got stabilisers. All of that stuff is a brilliant, brilliant piece of kit. So we've got an engine bay here. Well, actually here we've got a lazarette. Then forward we've got an engine bay. We've got access to the lazarette. It's smart. If you've got that shut, then you don't have to use it. You've got an extra ladder down through here that takes you down onto the port lazarette. As you can see, it's beautifully, beautifully done. The boat is in absolutely staggeringly nice nick. I am going to put on my little shoes here because they are... Stop my little tootsies getting hurty. Main engine bay hatch, dead centre. Ladder is really easy. We've got a nice big gutter around it with full drains. You probably need these. Stop you being able to hear me. Anyway, I'm going to leave those just there. We've got a fire extinguisher in here. She's Part 1 British registered here. It's done in the same nice shot stainless steel as the top nameplate. And we're down into the lazarette. So we've got the shaft tunnels running back to the rudder stocks, which are here, port and starboard. We've got service batteries are underneath this big bench here, which is superb. I'm going to come down here. Harry can come in and we can talk about rudder stocks and things like that. Okay. Welcome to the aft lazarette / garden shed. Got main outer casing here. I can stand up in it. I'm about 5 foot nothing, 9. But you've got brilliant lighting. We've got loads of kit in here. So we've got a water maker, which is over here. You've got your main filters and your main strainer there. We've got a big battery charger, another battery charger, batteries underneath. Lots of stuff to do with batteries. It's all very exciting. Harry, you're right on top of essentially the back of the keel. So the boat's got a full keel, which allows her to track incredibly well, but also keeps her nice and stable at rest. Down here, we've got a pair of whopping great brackets underneath the boat that support the shaft, which is running back through here with a nice little scallop here. So she's not quite as deep as some of the other boats. You can get in closer to shore. This is all correctly bonded, as you can see. So that's all bonded through to stop your electrolysis. And we've got anode bolts here. We've got bilge controls there. So you've got a separate bilge pump for there, separate bilge pump for the other side. This is that access ladder we were talking about. She's got Webasto heating. We've got brilliant access straight on top of the rudders, which are here. Tie bar is here. Your main pump is there. It's a really cool setup. So I'm going to dip down, spin round, and there we go. This has worked almost like we planned it. So this is your main engine bay. You've got 3 dog latches on a watertight bulkhead door. We've got a 9 kVA genset to port. It's a big Kohler. And we've got a 15 kVA on the starboard side. They run, from memory, 900 and like 700 hours, something about that. This engine room is the nearest you'll get in a leisure boat to being in a lifeboat. So this is totally commercial. We've got twin fuel filters here. They're CPARs. They will filter all of the fuel that is running right the way underneath our feet here. So we've got thumping great tanks there. If we need to pump fuel from the keel pump tanks to the wing tanks, which are at the side, there's a manual pump just down there with a lovely wooden handle. This is a pair of twin disc reversing gearboxes here. So the drive comes out of the back of these engines. They're Caterpillar C15s, C15s, 865 horsepower apiece. It's running back through these PSS seals, which have a little carrier here so that you can always change. If your shaft seals leaked for any reason, you nip these carriers back and there is a spare seal in there to go straight on. As you can see, these are water lubricated. The seals were recently redone, and the tailpipes as well for them are all redone. And you have an enormous thumping great block that the shaft comes out of. As you can see, it is a big whopping, what's that, 2.5 inch, something like that, shaft coming out of the back of the coupling. All really nicely done. So your main gearboxes are here. They're twin discs. They are beautifully quiet and beautifully easy to use. And you can use what's called a trolling valve, which drops the revs down to make the boat much easier to move around marina without overgunning your revs. You've got fuel switchovers here. We've got a pair of thumping great turbos, and then we have the main kind of course here is a pair of C15s. I have just been right the way around the far side of that one, which has got your air conditioning units and has got your track stabilizer control box. Over to starboard, you've got your main hydraulics package with your pump tank from ABT, American Bow Thruster. And on the main engines, access is phenomenal. So we've got oil filters here, we've got fuel filters down here. You've got a remote panel for stop-start here, which is used by engineers. You chuck your key in there. You've got start-stop down here. And your main coolant reservoir is located just here. Brilliant soundproofing. The soundproofing on this thing is epic. Lighting's very good. There's a camera up there, which is firing across your engine room to so you can keep an eye on these pair of puppies. Growling along. We've got Protect fire extinguisher here on a Seafire, so that's your automatic flame suppression and all of that kind of jazz, with alarms overhead. It is just a stunningly sorted boat. Important things like these control boxes are handed, dipstick handed, both sides. So for your normal daily checks, you just don't need to go around either the port side on this one or the starboard side on this, but you can. And you've got phenomenal access right the way around. And as you can see in here, it's clinically clean. So there's no corrosion at all on the engine feet on any of them. You've got anodes which have all sorted on the cooling system. And these engines are relatively bulletproof, but they haven't even run 700 hours. So that's kind of a cruising summer. And this boat is 2007 build. So she is sparingly but beautifully used. So that's kind of the main engine room. As Harry is spinning around to show you that Kohler system, I'm going to try and overtake from the inside. This has never been done. We haven't practiced this, have we? No, we haven't. So here we go. So yeah, keel tanks here. So all your fuel's right where it needs to be. Really low centre of gravity, all that stuff. That's kind of your engine room. You can close this door off, which you'd normally have underway, so the whole lot's sealed off. So it's a compact unit, but the build quality in there, and this boat is now 18 odd years old. That is a phenomenal pair of engines for a boat that's done a bit of work. So if you're interested in having a look, hopefully this video will go online relatively soon. And we can show you around as and when. I need to crouch down, otherwise my head gets cut off. That's about it, really. It's just a really nice, super boat. Are we going to finish up there? We're going to finish here.